Welcome to Recently Logged, an audio stream discussing what the film bros are watching these days.
So what are they watching these days?
That's an excellent question, Micah. What do you think they're watching these days?
I thought you were going to answer my excellent question.
No,
but apparently not.
I have no clue.
They're watching The Prestige these days.
Why would they watch such an awful, terrible movie?
You can leave. There's a door back there.
All right. Well, welcome to Recently Logged.
Yeah, welcome to
the second welcoming.
Yeah.
So I'm Robbie, and
I'm Micah.
He's Micah.
And we're Monsters Incorporated.
We're Monsters Incorporated.
I feel like I already made that joke.
I think we were talking earlier about the podcast intro, and
I'm
like,
Monsters Incorporated.
I'm Monsters Incorporated. Okay, so
just before we get started, I'd like to thank Luke again for coming on the podcast last week. It was a lot of fun.
That was lots of fun.
And we're going to have some more guests on here. I think we're going to have one next week, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you might be mistaken, Mike.
What?
No, he's going to be on next week.
So we're looking forward to that. And it's a lot of fun to be able to do these podcasts with people.
That it is. So, what? Do you know what you can do? You listener at home,
what can the listeners at home do?
This week's movie is actually a suggestion from our email.
It was, yeah.
And
which Robbie forgot to check, and then she had to tell us in person.
Yes. So if you want to send in a movie suggestion or something, I don't know, just if you want to send us a message, you can either
send us a friendly hello
on our social media, which we're
just
at Recently Logged, or you can send it. You can send it to our email, which is poddingtonrl@gmail. That's poddingtonrl@gmail.com.
He's gotten so good at that. Go listen to the first episode and hear him stumble over those letters.
Wow, I stay up at night rehearsing it. I'm like about to fall asleep, and I'm like podding
tonrl@gmail.com. All right, let's get into the movie.
So, The Prestige, directed by Christopher Nolan.
Oh crap!
Came out in 2006. No, 2007.
Hold on. Just let me pull up the IMDb page. Came out 2006,
baby. It's not that old.
It is rated PG-13.
Yeah, it's a very dark movie.
It is very dark. 130 minutes.
If you want a nice, uplifting movie to watch,
don't watch
this movie, please.
You got some pretty big names in it. I mean, it's Nolan, so you get his typical Christian Bale and Michael Caine. Those are like required.
Well, he isn't in Inception.
Yeah,
Christian
I know,
Bale,
but like,
or Michael Caine, I don't think.
Michael Caine is in Inception.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he's Leonardo DiCaprio's
that's
dad.
Right. He's the dad.
Hugh Jackman is also in this as Robert Angier.
Nice.
We got Scarlett Johansson as Olivia.
Wow.
David Bowie is in this as Tesla.
David Bowie.
Andy Serkis, which is, he's the best, so...
the best?
He's in that as Tesla's assistant.
He's in there as the best?
Yes. And then, I'm not sure how to pronounce Julia's... The actress who plays Julia...
Piper
Perabo?
I don't know.
Something like that.
Something like that.
And then Rebecca Hall plays Sarah.
I forget how many different... There's not a very big cast of characters in this story.
Yeah, it kind of sticks to them.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah. Also, we're relatively sure because it doesn't say anywhere else that Hugh Jackman also plays the one guy who is drunk all the time.
Yeah.
The actor who doubles as him in the movie.
Yeah, we're not sure if it is him, but it looks a lot.
It looks a lot like him, but yet it doesn't. But yet he's not listed anywhere.
Shout out to the makeup team if they can make it look like someone else but still look like Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
It's yeah, they did a good job if it is
So
Hugh Jackman.
we got Jonathan Nolan and Christopher Nolan writing this along with Christopher Priest, yeah, who wrote the novel.
Who wrote the novel.
I didn't know this was based
Yeah,
on a novel.
no, it's based on a book.
We've got
or a novel.
No, that's not what I'm looking for.
What are you looking for, Micah?
I'm looking for the music.
The music.
Who did the score? That's not the person who did the score, is it?
I don't know.
I don't know. It just says music by David
Julian.
Julian. Yes, Julian. So yeah, those are the basic facts of the movie.
Yeah.
It's kind of depressing
also,
movie.
Another fact about this movie is it's the objectively greatest magic movie ever made.
Yeah, I would say that. Did this win any awards?
Yeah.
It was nominated for 2 Oscars.
But it didn't win. Art direction. It won it got nominated for art direction.
Yeah, it got nominated for several things.
What's the other one? Cinematography. That makes sense.
It's a shame it didn't win because this is such a great movie. One of my favorite movies in general. Just, I love this movie. What did you rate it, co-host Robbie?
What did I rate it? I rated it 5 stars out of 5 stars. Believe it or not.
Believe it or not. I didn't think you'd ever rate a movie 5 out of 5.
Wow.
I also rated this movie 5 stars out of 5 stars.
Who would have guessed?
This is actually, if you check my letterbox.
Such a controversial take.
That's games_things. If you check my letterbox, it is one of my 4 favorite movies listed.
Of all time?
Of all time.
Well, Chris, you did it again.
I love this movie a lot.
Yeah. So, do you want to get into our general thoughts?
Yeah, but I gotta say something first.
Okay, say something.
Are you watching closely? Alright, I'm good. I got it out of my system.
Surprised you could do it without your rubber ball.
Out of context jokes.
If you've never seen The Prestige or haven't seen it in a while and don't remember, go watch The Prestige.
Because we're going to probably make... Well, first of all, it's going to be spoilers.
That was a pretty good voice crack, if I do say so myself.
And we're going to be making jokes, probably.
Okay.
That don't make any sense if you have, like the rubber ball.
A rubber ball. Okay.
All right. So thoughts, general thoughts, Robbie. What are your general thoughts
my
on
general
The Prestige?
Thoughts. Wow, no one's ever asked me that before. I think it is Nolan's of what I've seen. I haven't seen Interstellar or Memento as of yet, but
there are some other ones that you.
Yeah, there's a couple others, but those are his big ones that I haven't seen.
You've seen the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah, I've seen Inception,
Prestige.
And
and that's it. Right?
That's it. But yes, I think this is his tightest script out of all of his movies, and I think the editing and structure of it is as perfect as it could possibly be, because this thing kind of floats around a lot,
yeah,
but it doesn't ever feel unfocused at any point.
Yeah, I put that in my notes even because, like, not only does it just float around from, like, event to event, but it also floats around timelines.
Yeah,
a lot.
It does.
So, like, at the beginning, you're at the end of the movie, and then you go into, like, a journal, and then you go into a journal inside of a journal.
Inside of the journal.
It's like Inception, and the inception of the journal.
Yeah, no, yeah, those are. I think that's my general thoughts. Is probably his tightest screenplay. Surprisingly, very rewatchable.
Yeah.
But a lot of Nolan's movies are.
Yeah.
And a great structured thing. Yeah.
Great structure.
Great structure.
All right, I'll go into my general thoughts now, because I'm the most reliable source of criticism.
The greatest critic ever to walk the earth, probably.
like I said, this is one of my favorite movies like ever, and I think just almost pretty much on all fronts, this movie is perfect. There's only a few things that actually I found that like the little holes in it almost,
Little
and it's not
holes,
really
Micah.
like holes in the movie per se. It's that sometimes the logic of what the characters do is a little unbelievable, but that's just about it. Like one big thing for me was like for the whole tank trick where Julia, right? Yeah, Julia dies.
Yeah.
Why do they cover up the back? They should make it to where, like, from backstage you can see in the tank and be like, oh look, she didn't slip the knot. Better break her out.
So it annoys you, the unpreparedness.
Yeah, it just seems, and I mean, it makes sense if something like that doesn't happen. Like there are things that just logically watching the movie, I'm like,
Does it?
But no, it doesn't break.
Does it seem like Cutter would have been more prepared than that?
Yeah, I feel
Is that what it
like
is?
another thing that bothers me is I feel like the glass should have broke a little sooner, because if he would have just hit in the same freaking spot, he like halfway through when it's just about to break, he moves over to the right.
Kept hitting like half a foot every time.
So I mean, and again, this is all stuff that could happen.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't, break believability. And it doesn't break believability. It's just stuff that bothers me.
I see. So
some of the stuff about the relationship between the two Borden twins.
Oh yeah, that's
with like
it's always so weird.
Especially the relationship stuff. I'm like, now how did that work? Like the one time towards the beginning when he first meets Sarah. I can't talk today. And he does the whole break into her apartment thing, and is like, oh, I'm in the apartment now.
Oh.
And it's all like, all laughs and stuff. But here's the question: which one of the twins is that in the apartment? Is that the one that falls in love with? I'm so confused how that worked, because you'd think it's the, I don't know. It's confusing, just stuff like that. It's not a problem. But wow, I'm way off of general thoughts.
I was about to say you're going
into a rabbit hole.
Okay, so
but anyway, general thoughts.
Sum it up, Micah.
Summoning not summoning.
What are you summoning? We are going to summon Christopher Nolan onto our podcast.
Christopher Nolan, come on to our podcast, please. There we go.
And we'll do
He's
Interstellar or something.
Okay.
Yeah, he just gave us the thumbs up. He's
yeah.
like, good job, guys.
Yeah, he just gave us an improving look. So
Does this mean legally we can put endorsed by Christopher Nolan as the best movie podcast?
Oh, he's shaking his head no.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, general thoughts is this is just an amazing movie. Acting, cinematography, writing. The story is just really clever, and I really like it. And yeah, it's sad, but it's not like a tragedy kind of sad.
It's kind of, yeah. It's not something you would watch if you're already like down in the dumps.
But it's not like gonna make you down in the dumps.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not gonna watch it and be like bawling your eyes. Well, I don't know.
Maybe.
I
don't know.
Maybe.
I think I got kind of teary-eyed the first time I watched it, and then the second time it didn't really.
The thing is it's a lot of times more shock than it is straight up sad. Like when both Julia and Sarah die, you're just like, they died. Not like, they died.
So sad.
Because the whole thing is set up more as like a mystery drama thriller.
Mystery drama thriller.
And because of
Brought
that,
to you by Christopher Nolan.
It's not. It doesn't feel like a tragedy because it's not supposed to.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a tragedy. It just feels like a mellow sort of drama.
And the only time where it does feel slightly like a tragedy, because Sarah's death doesn't really feel like a tragedy much at all.
Huh?
No, Sarah's great. I like Sarah. You're just like, oh, she hung herself, and then you're like, the movie moves on.
So sad.
But like the only one where it actually gives you an opportunity to be like really sad is after Julia's death, but like they pick it up pretty fast to like Angier getting all revengey and him getting like I got a bunch of notes on that side of things, so
Okay.
we'll get to that later.
Okay.
Let's move on into questions.
Okay.
I got a great question. I was thinking about this while I watched the movie.
You got a question for me?
This isn't going to be one of our normie questions.
One of the normie questions.
Um.
So what is your question, Micah?
Who do you think,
Hoodoo?
if anyone, counts as like the bad guy or good guy of this?
I would say that the villain, the antagonist of
Yes.
the script is obsession as an abstract concept. Because
Yeah, but okay, hold on. Just
so-
finish your thought.
that's
Obsession,
pretty much
yes.
that's pretty much the whole
All right.
thought.
so I can definitely see that, and that kind of leans into my point. I was just gonna say Angier, because if you think about it, sure, the Borden twins are obsessed, and they do get into, like, they do start to lean more into what Angier is doing, but it's really only after Angier does stuff. Like he does most of the dramatic like plays, and he does all the things that press them further down into the rabbit hole. Because
Okay.
technically speaking, it wasn't Borden's fault that Julia died.
I mean, kind of.
You could say that it is. You could say that it isn't.
Yeah,
it
you
could
can-
happen to anyone, anytime.
You can make an argument for both.
So,
Um,
keeping that in mind, Angier's like, oh, it's Borden's fault. And the thing with Borden is he Angier, he latches on to stuff in the movie. He's obsessive, like Robbie said.
Yeah.
And the thing he latches on to in the beginning of the movie is revenge on...
Revenge.
Revenge. It's pronounced revenge, and it's best served cold.
Okay, so
but
you were saying
he latches on to, trying to get revenge, and ends up shooting off Borden's fingers.
curses.
And then, if I remember correctly,
You don't.
Borden never really does anything super major until, like, the final couple things where he breaks Angier's leg.
Yeah.
And then kills Angier.
I mean, I guess.
But I mean, like, cruelty-wise, Angier is way more up there.
Yeah.
Like, he literally takes his daughter away from him and is, like, reveling in the glory of taking away Borden's daughter
So-
and leaving him to hang
but
for his murder.
I would argue that he's the main character. So
I would
you
too.
would say that the antagonist is the main character, Micah.
Yeah. And if anything, I would say if there's any protagonist, which I don't think there's any good guy, per se.
There's Cutter.
But he's just kind of a side character.
no,
and
no.
He enables them.
Yes.
But I would say if anyone is the technical, like, good guy, it's the Borden twin who's married to Sarah and has the daughter.
I guess
Because if you look at it all, it was mostly, from what I pieced together, I was trying to keep up with which twin was which throughout the movie.
It's very confusing.
Just to kind of keep up with who was doing what, and most of the stuff that was dramatic and kind of backlash was from the one who wasn't married.
Well, it's because he was more cocky
Yeah.
most of the time.
And he's the one who, gets drunk all the time and does all that. And he's the one who hangs too. And he's the one, and all that, like, it's just all this stuff. And even the twin who has got the daughter and is married, is the one who's like, we're done. Just give up. It's fine. Leave him alone.
Leave me
And
alone.
then the other twin is like, I don't think I will.
No, I don't think I will.
And then goes and gets arrested.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I would say, So that's about the sum up of my question.
So your question is, who is the antagonist?
Yeah.
I think we have a pretty good nailed down.
But anyway, none of that excuses any. Just one last point. None of that excuses any of their actions.
We do not condone shooting people's fingers off.
No, I wouldn't. Or cutting your brother's fingers off to keep up an illusion. It's just not a good thing.
Unless you're a hardcore magician.
No, even then.
Favorite scene or sequence from the movie?
Favorite scene or sequence?
There are quite a few.
I nailed this one down already.
What is it?
It's so hard between the opening sequence and the ending sequence for me, because they're very similar.
Yes, they are.
But and they even have the same monologue going.
Whoa, a la Christopher Nolan.
But I would say, but also a la Michael Caine.
Oh my gosh.
I would probably say that the ending scene is my favorite. The ending little montage.
Wow.
Of Angier dying.
Lame.
Evil Borden hanging.
Evil Borden.
And just all the way up to You Want to Be Fooled. Cut to black.
And then that terrible, I think it's a David Bowie song, comes in the
credits. Oh
credits.
man, if that's a David Bowie song, no wonder it's there and so bad.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Not to
it
say
sounds
that David,
like David
Bowie is the worst, because I like some David Bowie songs.
No, there's some good David Bowie songs out there.
But he doesn't fit that movie, man. He doesn't.
Okay, so you're saying the end sequence,
yeah,
but close second would be the opening sequence.
Close second would be the opening sequence, especially and mainly, really only for rewatch. Like on rewatch is the opening sequence like that good?
Yeah.
Because in the beginning you're like, what are these random clips?
All these random clips. What is happening?
And then when you rewatch it, you're like, I know all these random clips. They're not random.
They're not as random as we once suspected.
Yeah. All right. So, what do you think? Favorite scene or sequence?
Well, you stole it from me, Micah.
Are you gonna say the closing sequence?
Yes, because that's literally probably the best. It's a la Close Encounters of the Third Kind. The ending scenes are the best scenes.
I haven't even seen that movie.
You don't need to.
Yeah, so
yeah, I just really love I really love the way it's shot. I like the way that one's shot a lot better than the opening sequence.
Yeah, you got that shot that I wanted to use to make that film poster.
Dang, the production design and lighting and everything of this movie is so good.
The sound design's interesting.
The sound design is interesting, and so is the score.
Yeah, I wrote in my notes that the score is like not standout score. Like it's not like one you go listen to, but it's like it's weird because it's like very present, and me anyway. While I'm watching it, I definitely notice the score a lot, but like it's in a weird way.
It's so bizarre and strange. Like not bizarre in like a Spider-Verse Electric Elephants kind of bizarre, but like it just really kind of strange.
Yeah.
I don't know, if you've never watched The Prestige, it's hard to describe the score for it. But
what if your favorite scene was oh, why did I just lose the scene?
All the scenes are so sad in this movie. I don't like any of them.
What if your favorite scene was that one time?
That one time
where the dove trick worked successfulay.
The one time.
Oh, well, technically it worked twice. All right, so complaint about the movie. I wanted to see the dove trick in front of a live audience. I wanted to see it. It's such a cool trick.
I was looking forward to it, and then every single time I get crushed.
Borden's like, I'll break your fingers instead. And see, even then, though, he's not breaking Angier's fingers, just a random audience member's fingers.
Exactly.
And murdering a dove.
You know, well, no one cares about the dove, Micah.
Oof, no one cares about the guy in the box.
Whoa. Nice reference.
Right?
Okay, so, yeah. Do you have another question?
I think I do.
Wow.
Let me think.
It's interesting that we've
what do you-
we've gone to this format. The thing we did one time for
Right.
Megamind.
All right, so
By the way, go watch our Megamind episode. It's pretty good.
what do you? I don't know. It's not like an easy per se answer question.
Okay.
But what do you think about the moral implications of the Tesla machine?
Tesla machine. Okay. Is that what it's called? It's just Tesla's machine.
Okay, that was really funny to us because the microphone cut out and it cut him off saying machine. So I don't even know how that sounds. It's probably like machine. I'm sure that's gonna sound weird.
Kata.
Yeah, I don't think it ever got a name. I think it's just Tesla's machine.
Wow. So the moral implications.
Yes, like what do you think?
Well, in the movie universe, what are we accepting as the religious truth? Exactly.
You know what? Just like what do you think of the machine?
I think it's a very. I find it to be a very interesting plot device.
Yeah.
There are few things like it in any other movie.
And the reason I wanted to bring it up is because it's such a catalyst for the plot, but yet it's such like a thing that it's the thing that gets you like
The thing,
questiony by the end of the movie. You're like,
what?
you're just like it's I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I
hope
sit
you
there,
don't go like that.
I sit there thinking about this machine a lot.
Wow.
And the implications of it.
Think of how many of Andy Serkis's cats are running out amok.
Oh, I wish Andy. I don't know if he does, but I really hope Andy Serkis actually has a cat.
I hope that is his cat.
I need him to have a cat.
So yeah.
You didn't answer the question.
Oh, whoa, wait! I thought you were saying you were rephrasing the question. Like, what do you think of the machine?
Yeah, like what do you?
I think like I said, I think it's a very
but what is it?
What is what?
I don't know. Like I was saying, like it's just such an interesting concept, especially in a universe that doesn't really have any set religious belief to it.
Yeah.
Like just thinking about like because a lot of things have clones in them, but they usually write them off as just more like almost robotic kind of things, or just exact clones, or just evil clones.
Unless you're Blade Runner, Mike.
And so just what do you think of the whole concept of like the cloning in this movie?
I don't know. They don't explore it very much. It's mostly just used for plot and forwarding the story. They don't explore the morality of like they do at times, but it's more just like, oh my gosh, he's such a crazy person because he shot himself. Oh no.
No, yeah, but like, what do you think? How do you think that is? And do you think he's the guy in the box or the Prestige?
There's no way to know, Micah. Well, both of them would continue consciousness until it dies.
Yeah, but how does that work? So this is what I wanted to discuss. Like, so how does this thing transfer matter over to the other spot? And with the way it transfers matter, like, how does the memory of it work? Couldn't there be side effects to your memory?
You would think so. Maybe that's why he goes so insane by the end, Micah. Maybe he's losing his sanity every time.
maybe he actually comes out as Lord. What's his name?
Lord Coleslaw or something.
Called Roy Court. I don't know.
Corn on the cob. Maybe that's why he grew the mustache.
I don't know. It's what I always end up thinking about a lot when I watch this movie.
Yeah, I could see that.
So, do you have any other questions? Because that sums up my questions.
I do.
All right.
I was wondering what...
We're already 30 minutes in and we're just to the questions.
What, if any, problems do you have with this movie?
Like I said, I listed some earlier. A lot of them are just logic things. Like, I'm just like, is that logical? But, people in real life aren't always logical.
Does it work with, like, do the character's decisions make sense to the character, not necessarily to the real world?
Sometimes, like I said, I feel like the one doesn't. Like, Cutter, a lot of times feels a little like, come on, Cutter.
Come on,
what are you doing with your life?
He seems very, very over-prepared at times, and then super under-prepared at times. It's weird.
It's weird, his relationship with Angier, because they act like they're best buds forever.
Best BFFs, bro.
Bro. And he'll even, like, take a bullet for the cause and not be super upset about it. Like, Borden straight up shoots him while they're trying to bury him alive, and
I had forgotten about that.
He's just like, it's fine, I'm fine, this is fine.
Yeah, whatever. Things happen.
Yeah, that's always bothered. Cutter as a character has always bothered me a little bit.
He's used more as a foil and plot device in the story.
But I like the little bit of an arc that they give him, with, like, him by the end letting Fallon go just by and giving him, like, a nod, like
in Dark Knight Rises,
like a respectful, like, I'm sorry kind of a nod. And then helps him get back with his daughter. Like
the Dark Knight Rises kind of nod?
No, not like the Dark Knight Rises kind of a nod. Yeah, now after watching The Dark Knight Rises, that's all I can think of when he does that nod.
When he does the nod?
Because it's Christian Bale and Michael Caine, and they're nodding without saying anything, and it's
Ooh, I guess I should answer my question first.
Yeah. What are your problems?
It can feel... I say it's a very tight script, and it doesn't... But it can occasionally feel kind of meandery, if that makes sense. But, like, not in always a bad way.
Where do you think that happens? Because I had an idea of where.
I think definitely around the part where what's his face sends Scarlett Johansson to the other guy.
Yeah.
Around that part, it starts to get a little weird.
From, like, there
pacing and editing
there
wise.
And through, in my opinion anyway, through all the Tesla stuff.
Yeah, the Tesla stuff is weird too.
Because there's nothing...
It feels kind of out of place.
Because it's taking so long, like it spans a long period of time. And it's just kind of nothing happens during the long period of time.
Nothing.
Like, Borden's doing well, and Angier's waiting.
But, I say that, but I still gave it 5 stars. I think this is just about as good as you can get the movie.
Yeah.
Because they fit so much into this script, and it doesn't feel that overstuffed.
Also, it's dumb. One thing is dumb, and this bothers me every time, that the freaking Borden twin starts like dating or whatever you want to call it, Scarlett Johansson's character.
And then it's just like that dinner from The Dark Knight. Okay, so someone needs to back me up on this. The dinner scene from The Prestige, where all the girls are sitting at the table, it feels exactly like the Dark Knight dinner scene.
Evil Borden twin, and
there's an evil one
and
a good one.
And nice Borden twin dressed up as Fallon are there at the table.
Okay,
and then Sarah and Scarlett Johansson's character are all at this table, and he made the perfect parallel to when Batman comes up, or Bruce Wayne or whatever,
and there's Rachel,
Harvey and Rachel, and him and his 2 French models.
I don't remember the Dark Knight. Christopher Nolan, everyone.
It's like, this is not the pool.
He's shaking his head again. Christopher
Nolan. I'm gonna buy the whole building.
I'm gonna buy the whole building.
because that's how rich I am. I think Christian Bale's a really good actor.
What are you going to do? Call my mom?
She's dead. So good luck.
Yes. Would you say Christian Bale gives a peak performance in this, Micah?
I haven't seen a lot of Christian Bale, so I can't say.
Just compared to the Dark Knight stuff.
To the Dark Knight stuff, I would say this is a significantly better performance, but I don't really like Christian Bale that much as Batman.
I like him as Batman.
He's fine as Bruce Wayne, and most of the time he's fine as Batman.
Him as Bruce Wayne.
But I don't know. It's just that voice that he does for Batman. He's like, I'm Batman. And like, swear to me.
Oh my gosh.
And all that stuff. That stuff gets old, in my opinion, and it's fine.
I quite like it, Micah. It grows on me.
Yeah, he like 3 times a day. He's like, swear to me.
Swear to me.
I'm not wearing hockey pants.
I don't know why, but hear me out. Christian Bale's Bruce Wayne feels so cheesy at sometimes, and
It's supposed to.
I don't know why.
We need to do the Dark Knight. This is for the Dark Knight conversation.
So cheesy.
Hold on, let's do some Dead Space for a little bit. I'm getting hot.
Okay. Or I can plug. Oh wait, you're gonna be making a bunch of noise.
Plug.
Okay. Hey there, guys. If you want to connect with us on social media, you can find me on Twitter at Robbie Grayway. You can find Micah on Twitter at Micah_Grayway. And you can find our podcast at Recently Logged on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. Me and Micah's Letterboxd. Mine is Christian Huber, and his is Games_things. Thank you. Back to the podcast.
Give me my headphones.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I'm like waiting, and you're like, no, I'll just no, I don't think I will.
No, I don't think I will.
I've referenced it twice. Dang it.
No, this has been like the 4th time.
All right, moving on from questions to
oh wait,
to
no,
going.
I had a really good one.
Do it. Watch him forget the really good question.
Gosh, dang it. Oh, what did you think of the casting in this movie?
Well, I really like Hugh Jackman, and he does a really, really good job playing kind of in the bad guy Hugh Jackman.
Oh, I think this is peak Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think he's given a better role that I've seen anyway. I haven't seen Oklahoma or Les Mis. So.
And like I said, I haven't seen anything else for Christian Bale, so I think that those 2 castings are really, really good.
Yeah.
I really like the actress who plays Sarah.
She's quite good.
Scarlett Johansson is likable yet unlikable, so...
Scarlett Johansson is kind of weird in this movie.
Yeah, she plays it weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because I've seen her in, like, her as Black Widow. She does a good job.
It's not a bad weird, but it's a weird.
Yeah, I think a lot of that is from the way her character is written.
Yeah.
That's one of the more sloppily written characters.
Oh, definitely, yes.
So it's a little meh on judging that. Tesla, David Bowie being Tesla is actually way better than I thought it would be.
Okay, have you seen a picture of Tesla?
I have not.
He kind of looks like David Bowie.
I wonder if they're thinking they're like, we gotta have Tesla in this movie, and they were just looking at pictures of Tesla, and they're like, you know what?
Okay, I'm gonna pull up a picture.
He kind of looks like David Bowie. We should get him. So. And then Andy Serkis, I don't know, did I already say Andy Serkis?
It is Tesla, right?
Yeah, he plays Tesla, yeah.
No, Andrew Tesla.
Oh, I don't know.
I thought that was his name.
But,
Whoopsie. I don't know my history, apparently. Is it Andrew?
I don't know. But Andy Serkis is one of my favorite actors out there. He doesn't get enough credit. He does a lot of things where he doesn't show his face, though. So because he did so much of the... Is it called mocap? Is that the right word?
What?
For
who? Andy Serkis?
Andy Serkis. For Gollum.
Oh,
Gollum.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he did so much, because they did such an amazing job with Gollum in those movies. Honestly, I think Andy Serkis looks like Gollum. Like, obviously he does, because he was. But, like, that's what I see him as when I see him. But I mean, he was also Claw in the Marvel movies, which he did a good job with. He voiced Snoke, if I'm not mistaken. He does kind of look like David Bowie.
Nikola Tesla.
Nikola Tesla.
Since I can't remember anything from history.
They say that in the movie.
I know they say it, but I didn't remember it. Sorry.
But yeah, Andy Serkis, underrated.
I'm gonna post
Great
this.
actor.
I'm gonna post this on our Twitter.
So what do you think of the casting, Robbie?
I think, like I said already, Hugh Jackman gives it his all in this.
Yeah.
He does a really good job.
Better than The Greatest Showman.
Christian Bale, I think, he's good, but I think I don't know if they would have been able to cast anyone. They would have been able to cast someone better.
I don't think they would have done as good of a job.
But since he'd worked with Nolan before, it was probably a good choice for the movie.
I don't know. I think Christian Bale is a really good cast choice.
I mean, he does a good job, but something doesn't click for me.
Really?
Whenever I see him as the character, I don't know what it is. His performance feels a little stiff for some reason.
I could see that.
Yeah,
a lot of times,
it's not bad, but
his character, I feel like, is almost supposed to be a little stiff because it's hard. You know, it would be very, very difficult to live a double life like that with a twin, and there'd be a lot of mental strain.
Yeah, I mean, I think he does a fine job, but that would be my one qualm probably with the casting.
Okay.
The other casting, it all works pretty well. Michael
Caine.
Michael Caine. I think he becomes more of a meme every time.
I think he does too. Isn't he in is he in Memento? I don't remember because I feel like he's in almost every Christopher Nolan movie.
I wonder if he's going to be in Tenet.
He better be, or I'm going to be disappointed.
We should ask Christopher Nolan since he's still in the.
Yeah, since he's still here.
Still in the studio.
Hey, Chris, is he gonna be in Tenet? Oh, he's saying he can't tell us.
His lawyer is holding a gun to his head and he says he can't tell us. So we'll get back to you on that. We'll post on our Twitter if he says anything.
Yeah. Be sure to look out for that.
Be on the lookout for that. Yeah. Oh, you gotta look under cast, Micah. Michael Caine.
This guy.
He's a national treasure.
A meme.
Maybe. I think he's right up there with actors I would put as like meme level, but still kind of good for some reason, like Nicolas Cage and Michael Caine.
So he was in the Dark Knight trilogy. Obviously, he played Alfred.
Oh, he was in Dunkirk.
He was in Dunkirk, which is a Christopher Nolan.
Oh yeah,
movie.
there's another Christopher Nolan.
He was in Inception. He was in Interstellar. He's in The Prestige. He's in Cars 2.
He's in Children of Men. What the heck? He's in Romeo and Juliet.
But it does not. I don't think he's in.
I don't think there's a spot for him in Memento. Yeah, no, Memento would be quite up there, Micah, because it's sorted by popularity.
Yeah.
And Memento is a very.
So he's not in all of them, but he's in a fair share.
He's in his good portion of Chris Nolan directed stuff. If you guys haven't seen Christopher Nolan's movies, go watch them if you're old enough.
He's really, really good.
Unless you're like 10 years old.
He's right up there.
Don't watch this if you're not old enough yet.
He's right up there with the Coen brothers for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
For favorite director?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Wow.
I mean, I really enjoy his movies, but I have to be in the mood for them.
Hey, yeah, and I heard a complaint about Christopher Nolan movies, about how they all are very similar.
Oh, yes, they
all are very speechy. And that is very true.
Yes, they all
Almost
have.
every single one of them has like a big speech.
The big speech.
Characters in these movies speak in speeches. But I like it. I mean, obviously, it's a fair complaint. If you don't like it, it's fine.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you don't like kind of speechy movies that are very dramatic.
Yeah, he's very dramatic.
You won't like his movies.
He likes doing movies that you're like, what?
But they've got a lot of craft to them.
Yeah.
Kind of similar to M. Night Shyamalan, where his always has a twist, which is kind of
yeah. And not that Shyamalan's movies are
Oh no,
like Christopher
No,
Nolan
no, no, no.
movies, but
It's
just like in the same way.
just in the fact that
They all
there's
feel similar.
Yeah, they all have a very similar feel and aesthetic.
You can
to
tell
them.
it's
Yes.
you can tell it's a Nolan movie.
You can
just
look
like
at
you
a
can tell it's a
frame-
Shyamalan movie.
You can look at a frame from like Dunkirk or Inception or The Prestige or any of them, and you'd be like, yeah, that's a Christopher Nolan movie because they all look very similar.
Yeah. But that's not to take away from them. They're some of my favorite movies out there.
He's got a very defined look, and it works for almost all of his movies.
All right, do you have any more questions?
I would say that I think I did, but at one point, but I don't think I do now.
We are 45 minutes into the unedited cut.
Okay.
And we have not gone into like just discussing. And I have a lot of notes
What do you mean?
this time.
We've been discussing.
Well, yeah, but we've been on like confined.
Okay. What do you?
So a lot of stuff that I find good about this.
Okay.
So we've covered pretty much all my basis of things that I don't like about this. I thought of one more thing that I was gonna say that I didn't like.
Okay.
But I completely forgot it, and I think it had something to do with Scarlett Johansson.
Oh man.
But I don't remember. So if I remember that, I'll get back to it. But one of the things that I really like about this movie is the way they treat magic.
Magic.
And the way they treat magicians and everything.
Magician.
And not being a magician myself.
Not being a magician.
I don't know if it's anything like this, being a magician at all.
Well, being a magician in that time period.
In the real world, like now, or even in that time period.
Yeah.
But like the way it's like, although they all obviously know it's an illusion, they all like kind of are like, I don't know, they have a feel around it that it's something to be in awe of, even though it's all an illusion, which it is. I mean, magic is crazy impressive even if you know how it, well, good magic is crazy impressive even if you know how they do it.
Well, that's like a good film director being very impressed and in awe of another movie just because you also can do it, to see someone do it very, like, with such preciseness and perfection, it still is very awe-inspiring.
Yeah, and I just like the relationship to, like, that the characters have to the concept of magic. Like, and a lot of it goes in, and occasionally they'll bring up, like, oh, it's real magic for the machine, and, like...
Well, it kind of is.
And, like, what Borden thinks of real magic is, like, you know, dedicating your entire life to a facade. Like, good old Chinese guy number 5. I don't know.
What book series was it that I was thinking of? Not Harry Potter. Where I don't remember. It's from a book series that I like, but
what is that guy's name? The Chinese guy. I can't think of his name.
What, the Goldfish Bowl guy?
Yeah, the fake cripple guy. I can't think of his name.
He has a name?
It's like the Great something or another.
The Great Danton?
No, it is not the Great Danton.
A Great Danton.
The Great Danton.
Shout out to Hugh Jackman for giving the performance of his life with the drunk actor dude.
He's like, I've played Caesar.
Caesar.
There's nothing to play. The Great Danton.
The Great Danton. Okay, but as I was saying, I forget what book series this is, but it was right. It is Alcatraz versus the Evil Librarians. That is the one I was thinking of. They say magic depends on your perspective. What is magic and what is just technology?
Mm-hmm.
It's a just an
very good series.
Interesting. Yeah, go read that book series. It's a good book series.
I'm trying to find Chun-Ling Su as Cho-Li Chi.
Chow-Li?
Chow-Li Chi.
Okay.
Dang it, I'm butchering these names.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, this guy. I'm sorry. You did a really good job.
The goldfish.
You're one of my favorite characters.
Bro, I don't know who they got to play this goldfish.
Bro, no, not the goldfish.
I don't know who they got to play this goldfish. But the way he swims around in his 3 seconds of screen time is masterful. It's like the Minion death scene kind of masterful.
So continuing with the movie, the other big thing brought up a lot besides obsession is self-sacrifice.
A common theme in the movie.
So
What do
you think? Do you think any of them actually do any of the good old self-sacrifice?
Yeah.
Langier definitely doesn't.
Yeah. What do you mean?
What does he do that's self-sacrificing?
He sacrifices his whole life to this one thing. It's not a good sacrifice.
No, but it's not a self-sacrifice. It's like a sacrifice is like, I don't know. I feel like it should be
like sacrificing something you want.
He's doing it all for selfish reasons.
Yeah,
and it's all like that's the thing. That's one of the main reasons I would call him the antagonist of this. Everything he does is selfish for himself,
or spiteful.
Yeah, or spiteful, and he doesn't really do any self-sacrifice. Like, sure,
I guess
he kills himself, his clones of himself, but that's not really self-sacrifice. That's still just looking out for himself.
Yeah, it's in his own interests every time he does something.
But do you think Borden, one of both of the
maybe
Borden,
the more pleasant Borden,
the more pleasant Borden? What do you think?
He sacrifices stuff. Well, both of the twins sacrifice having a full life.
Yeah, I feel like the happy twin, the twin that ends up living, he sacrificed more though.
You think so?
Yeah,
okay.
Because he had a wife and a kid, and keeping up the illusion it lost him his wife and almost his daughter. Almost.
If it wasn't for good old Michael Caine.
But yeah, so I definitely think he actually, because they always talk, they're like a lot of the monologuing back and forth over journal entries is like, he does not know self-sacrifice. I do.
I do.
Oh yes, well I do. No, but I do. And they just are like, I've sacrificed more than you. Ha ha ha.
Ha ha ha. So is that what they say, Micah?
That's more what it's like.
That's the groundbreaking dialogue from the Nolan brother writing combo.
So yeah. And yeah, a lot of my notes are just about obsession and self-sacrifice and just how they pertain to the movie, how neither of them really self-sacrifice too much. I mean, obviously, like we said, the Borden twins do a little bit more, but the one gets tired of it, if you couldn't tell by the fact that their plan goes very downhill very fast.
Very fast?
Yes.
Okay.
And then mainly just like obsession, like it just consumes both their life and their perspective of life. Like, yeah. I don't know how to put it. I'm finding it hard. Just I can't talk today. But I'm having a hard time finding the words to say what I want to say.
Yeah. Well, I think you summed it up pretty well. For the most part, kind of rambled on.
Yeah, a little bit.
I think I'm being attacked by a mosquito.
No, it's a gnat.
Oh, okay, that's not as bad.
It flew in my face too.
As long as I'm not getting bit by anything, I'm good.
So like this morning, I started school, and like there was this mosquito that just came out of nowhere. It looked like it came like out of my science book. And
maybe it was hiding in there.
And then I like swatted it, and I couldn't find it anywhere. I was like, did I kill it? I can't tell. And then I just found it twitching on my science book, which I swear it wasn't there before. Like right after I spotted it, I was looking around and I did not see it there.
Maybe it was still flying around and then it fell on the science book
went
after
down
a while. Just spiraled down.
But I saved your life, though I did get bit on the leg.
Wow, thank you. Apparently I know nothing of self-sacrifice.
You know nothing of self-sacrifice. I got bit by a freaking mosquito.
So yeah.
Any other thoughts you want to add, Robbie?
I don't know. I think we've covered just about every aspect of it that I wanted to cover.
Yeah, for me this episode is a little harder, just because it's a movie that I like so much, but it's a very complicated movie.
Yeah.
I have a hard time, and I've been a little bit more rambly this time, just because
delving into it.
I don't know exactly how to put what I want to say. But to some of all
Are you saying that
sums,
Megamind is more simplistic and shallow?
I think it is. But to sum all the sums up of the
Okay.
sum of the sum.
Okay. A little sum.
It's an amazing movie and you should go watch it.
Yes. I recommend it wholeheartedly.
Yes, definitely. If you're like 14 or older.
It's a very
It's dark.
it's a very dark movie, yes.
A lot of my sister, she is 4 years older than me. And she was like, I can't watch it when he gets his fingers cut off.
That's just gross out. That's not because, well, I mean, it is dark.
Well,
but
it's really, I mean, he just sits there, takes the hammer, takes a little, and just goes,
like whack-a-mole.
like whack-a-mole, but like every time you whack the mole, you lose a finger.
Well, he lost 2 fingers.
That's what I'm saying. You whacked the mole twice.
Okay, I need a comment on his facial hair.
No, the varying facial hair that they all have in their disguises. The one for Hugh Jackman, it's the first disguise he puts
so
on.
Weird.
And if you've seen Pan, which I actually haven't seen Pan, but I've seen clips from Pan.
Wow.
And
fake Pan.
And Hugh Jackman, his facial hair in that is awful. But his first disguise looks exactly like that, but like brown hair instead of black hair. And it gets me laughing every time. And you're not supposed to be laughing because he's like, "What knot did you tie? Shoot him.
Shoot him." Got him.
But yeah, we're rambling more. So
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you got this far in the podcast, tweet at us.
Totally.
Be like, yeah.
If you don't have a Twitter,
there's literally no way to contact.
None. DM us on Instagram or something. I don't know.
I don't know.
Say,
I made it to the end of the Prestige episode.
Give us movie suggestions.
And then just tweet at us. Just say at recently logged. Are you watching closely?
Are you watching?
If you made it all the way to the end.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for listening. We've gotten some positive reviews, believe it or not.
Wow, really? I didn't know that.
Positive feedback.
And we're going to have more guests on, so be sure to look out for
We
that.
have
If you want to be a guest,
we have
you
a
can
guest next
contact
week.
us at Paddington RL.
No, not Paddington.
Poddington. Right, not Paddington.
It's
Poddington.
it's like a podcast.
PoddingtonRL@gmail.com. That's PODD.
INGTONRL.
@gmail.com. So he knows it better than me now.
Yeah.
And until next week.
Oh wait, we need to end it with our quote.
All right, we have to have a quote. Can I just do the whole monologue?
Kata.
Kata?
Kata.
Just end it with that. Kata?
Kata.
Kata?
Kata.
Kata?
Kata.
Kata?
Kata.
You gotta understand, we say cutter way too much. We're just like walking around and we're like, kata?
If I'm walking alone in the house and I hear a noise, I'm like, kata.